Guys, welcome to another edition of our videos, and I'm Evantz Saint-Gerard, and I got a special guest. Anthony, tell us about yourself, how long you've been in the business, what do you do, everything that we need to know about you.
My name is Anthony Curcio, run Curcio Law PLLC. We are a boutique real estate law firm. Been practicing law over 9 years now, been on my own a little bit over a year and a half. We do just about everything in real estate, from sales, leasing, zoning, land use, financing, and dealing with some landlord-tenant as well.
All right, so where are you located right now?
Located in Melville, 1121 Woolwoodman Road. Just moved into my new office. Actually have an office space now. Before that, I was in one of those Regis shared office spaces. So it's nice to have a real office that I can come and go as I please, so to speak.
Gotcha. All right, so at the time of this recording, it's January 2024. What do you want to talk to us about regarding buyers and sellers, what they should be mindful of in the new year?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the $500 property disclosure credit that they're going to be getting rid of. I'm sure you're dealing with this as well. Right now, the sellers have the luxury of just basically saying, I don't want to disclose anything about my property. Don't fill out the form, pay the $500 at closing, and that's that. They're done. I forgot the exact date of when it's being abolished. I think it's March or April. They're going to be getting rid of that.
Okay.
So that's going to be an interesting thing, because the owner is going to have to, basically disclose to the best of their knowledge what they know about the property. And, if they get something wrong, they may have an issue. And I think you're going to see a lot of litigation pop up regarding this, and it's going to create some problems for sellers who think they sold their house and they're ready to go. And then they're going to, they'll get something in the mail or get served with a notice that they're getting sued for something that maybe they didn't disclose, or they disclosed it incorrectly. So,
or they completely forgot about, because let's
right,
be honest,
exactly.
You're selling a house.
Like that underground oil that they always forget about,
Yes,
like
you haven't used it in years and you totally forgot about it. It was a
Mm-hmm.
non-event. You moved out, you did what you had to do, you're moving, focusing on your new place where you're going, putting your new life together in another location. So there might be a few things that you might neglect or forgotten. So, but that's why we have attorneys like yourself, basically, to remind us, hey, this is what's happening.
Yes, exactly. Make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's, and, just do your due diligence before filling that out.
All right. So on the buyer side, what are you seeing happening right now?
People are starting to get off, I was going to say get off their butts, but the people are starting to actually buy. They're starting to do some, looking around. They're starting to do some house hunting. I think people, in 2023, people weren't certain what was going on regarding inflation, interest rates, this sort of thing. People were scared to death to do anything real estate related. The inventory is, I think, creeping up a little bit, but it's still scarce at this point. But people are, I think they're seeing that we're finally slowed down. Interest rates are starting to trickle down a little. Inflation's calmed down. I think things, from everything I'm reading, everything's supposed to get better this year. So I think people are kind of feeling a little better about going out and making a purchase. And same thing goes for people looking to sell and maybe move on to a bigger house or whatever they want to do at that point.
Yeah, we are seeing more activity, more phone calls. We are seeing more offers on properties. So the multiple offers is coming back. And just as you mentioned, I'm not even thinking before spring. Actually, no, before spring, you're probably going to see the floodgates. Before spring even starts, the spring buying season, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think once school ends, I think people are really going to start making some moves. It's going to be interesting this summer for sure.
For those who are buying and selling at the same time, what would be your best advice for them if they're buying and selling at the same time?
Well, hire me to handle both ends of that transaction and hire you. So, of course, but, have a backup plan, because you can't control when someone's going to come buy your house, and you may not find that house you're looking to purchase. So you may sell your house, out the gate, and then you may not have something you're looking to buy right away. Have a backup plan of where you're going to live or how you're going to work things out, because some people may not wait to close. They may need to close. They don't want to give you the time to sell your house, or vice versa. So I think you need to have some kind of backup plan if you're looking to do that, because to time that out right, it's a challenge. I mean, you can do it, but you got to really, things have to line up correctly for you to do that.
It is difficult, but it is doable.
Yes.
One of the things that we like to do as a team is pretty much we have to have open and honest conversation with the seller buyer. And if you're buying here in the same area or, somewhere in the boroughs, if you're selling in Queens and moving to Long Island, we need to know what your plan is. Like you mentioned, where do you want to go? Did you find a house? Do you need us to help you basically find another house? Because we can do that because that's what we do. And if you're buying out of state, let us know what's going on out of state as well. So we have a deal right now where the people are selling here in Queens, and I believe they're going to Atlanta. And so we've been having conversations with the agents basically in other state, letting them know basically what's going on over here with the buyers that are purchasing our seller's home, and that way they know what they're doing with the seller and the other place, which they're buyers in another state. So we just got the clear to close. So fingers crossed, everything becomes smooth. And it's an open conversation. It has to be open dialogue, basically. So when you are selling and buying, let us know who on the other side, what's going on, who the attorney is on the other side, who the agent is on the other side if it's another state. And the same thing in this state if you're doing the same thing in this state as well. And that's pretty much it on that portion. What else do you want to add?
Well, just to piggyback off what you were talking about, I think having your financing in order is very crucial because people, they'll put it up for sale, they'll get a quick offer, they'll accept it, and they'll go, oh crap, we got to get our financing together to make our purchase, which doesn't happen overnight. You got to get your pre-approvals in order when you go shopping around. Some agents won't even entertain an offer without a pre-approval because they don't want to have their time wasted. So you got to have that together and make sure you got your financial situation squared away, and make sure you know what you could afford. Because I've seen situations where people think that, oh yeah, we're gonna shop in this price range, and then reality sets in when they get that first closing exposure, and they see the taxes and the payment, and they go, ooh, maybe this isn't the right price range for us, and then you're stuck.
Well, to avoid stuff like that, that's why it's crucial.
Yes.
When you're sitting down with your agent and you're having your consultation to sell, you're also having a consultation to buy as well. So that's something we would avoid basically by having the conversation, finding out what your financial plan is. Are you planning to buy something right after this is sold? Or are you doing it at the same time? Or are you renting? Or are you staying with family members? We need to know what the plan is so basically we know how to advise you. So it's a conversation that needs to be had when you're dealing with, especially today's market. Because we want to make sure that you're not having undue stress for no reason. Basically, this is why we have these conversations, just because we've seen this happen on many occasions. So that's why we ask the questions that we ask.
Yeah, because it's a reality check that happens really quick if you don't have that discussion. People live in fantasy land a lot of times with these certain things, and you got to bring them back down to earth. And this is what really is going to happen.
Okay.
Just to piggyback off that too, what I'm also seeing out there, I'm getting a lot of calls about people taking their existing homes and looking to convert them to get some more cash flow out of it. A lot of times people aren't ready to make that jump. So I get a lot of questions regarding converting it to a 2-family home or, putting an accessory apartment in and getting some kind of rental permit from the town or municipality that they're located in. So that's another thing I've been getting quite a few phone calls about.
Okay. Now, what about condos and co-ops? You're getting a lot of phone calls on those. People are selling those, and they're looking to get bigger units, or basically just a home, or they're converting, basically leaving the homes to get a condo co-op.
I haven't gotten too many calls, honestly, about condos or co-ops, but from what I've seen, people are selling, and it's usually they're usually looking to downsize. Kids are out of the house. They're tired of maintaining a home because it's expensive and it's time consuming, especially when you get older. It's a lot tougher to do that. You see a lot of these condo co-op developments today. It's like luxury living. You don't have to do anything. There's clubhouses. Yep. There's a lot of activities, especially, the reality is people are selling and they're moving to Florida. I mean, you see some of these places down there. It's like going on vacation every day. It's a permanent vacation.
It's not Shady Pines. It's not Shady Pines.
No, it's not. It's like some of these places are literally the Ritz-Carlton. It's incredible. Pool, swim cabana, all this stuff. It's like I'm very jealous.
You and me both, because I'm sitting here. I'm like, well, I need to get old real quick, even though I look it. But I'm like, I need to be that age so I can actually buy one out there. But that is interesting that you said that. Now, between the boroughs, basically, are you seeing anything like different from each borough, legal wise?
Justin?
The only thing that's really different, I mean, the transactional
Good.
stuff,
How you doing, man? What's
outside
going
of, there's more co-op and condo, sales because that's just the
Everything is
nature
good.
of
Thank you. I got 2
the
referrals
city.
from you this
But
week.
regarding land use and zoning, I don't even do land use and zoning in the city compared to Long Island because it's just two different animals. There's a lot of politics involved. I have a lot of relationships on Long Island through the municipality because I used to work in a municipality a long time ago prior to becoming an attorney. So I got relationships in different places there, and it's more, it suits my practice better.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you mentioned the relationships. That is key to running a successful business, and also for our clients. You want to work with somebody who has good reputation. Obviously, they take care of their clients, and you feel comfortable. But also important is they have good relationships with other professionals in their field because they are part of your team, and they're going to be working hand in hand with other people on the other side. And you want to make sure that basically they're not a hindrance for you getting what you want. They actually are an asset. So that's really important, basically, that they're networking, they're talking, they're well-liked, well-versed in their field, and they get along with as many people as they can because that's going to benefit you in the long run. Is there... I'm sorry, go ahead. You're about to say something.
I was going to just, on your relationship thing, my number one philosophy with networking is just, it's got to be a genuine relationship, and you got to be able to know the person before you can give them business. You can't just, here, I'm going to give you something. I don't know how this person operates. I don't know who they are. They could be a crazy person. They could just not know what they're talking about.
In real estate, there's nobody crazy in real estate.
There's no bad apples. There's no bad attorneys either, right? So,
or bad agents.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's always a few bad apples that give us a bad reputation. So, you got to be careful before you refer business out. But it's just like I say, it's just like dating. You get to know the person. You either know it's going to work or you don't. So
you'll know in a few minutes, basically, if there's going to be a second date.
Right. If you have that chemistry, as they say.
Exactly. We didn't connect. All
Absolutely.
right. So, what's some words of encouragement you can say to the people right now who are watching this, who are either buying or selling, that are looking, or they pretty much they're on the fence. They want to buy, they want to sell. What's some words of encouragement you can give them right now?
All right. And he did say a point.
Words of encouragement when they're buying or selling.
He said it.
Don't rush into things. Like we said, have realistic expectations as to what you're purchasing, what you're selling. Just be prepared. That's the best thing I could tell you. And try to protect yourself the best you can prior to going into any transaction, because a lot of people, you see this all the time. It's the biggest purchase they'll make in their life, and they're not very astute as to what's going on. And that's okay, as long as you hire the right people to, advise you and guide you along the way, then you'll be okay. So
I'm going to throw in one extra thing. They have to listen to their professionals that they hired.
Yes. You're hiring us for a reason, and you're paying us for a reason. We're not making suggestions. We're telling you we've been through the wars. We've seen a lot of situations. We have experience. We know better. Not that we know better, but we know what's best for our clients. Let me rephrase.
Yes, we've been through these wars basically, and we want to make sure we help you avoid basically some stuff that you don't really need to get involved in.
Right.
Like, hey, this is a great suggestion. Let's do this instead of that, because that is going to not be what you want.
And I also want to say, we do a lot of things behind the scenes that you don't know about.
Yes,
for good reason. Because if we advised you into every little thing that we did, we would make you crazy, and we'd make your anxiety go through the roof because it's already high as it is. So I think leaving some of it to the professionals and just letting us console you on what's really important to know about, I think is critical as well.
All right. With that being said, how can people reach you if they want to have a conversation with you, interview you? How can they reach you?
You can call me at my office, 516-809-8483. You can call or text my cell, 631-943-8351. Or you can shoot me an email, curcio@curciolawpllc.com. You can also find me on Instagram and LinkedIn, my social pages.
All right. You said something that's very important. I just want the audience to understand that. I meet a lot of attorneys. not all of them basically give out their cell numbers. So that's very important. When you're purchasing a house or you're selling a house and transactions happen really quick, it's very important that you can get in contact with the attorney sometimes, because the attorney basically can tell you yay or nay if this is a good idea, if this is a bad idea. As we're advising you, you need to get in contact with the attorney. And if you can't reach them there because they're not in the office, you need to contact them. And most attorneys, like Anthony, basically are accessible.
I'm very accessible. Text message, honestly, is easier than phone calls sometimes, just because if I'm out, I don't want to have to, if I'm out somewhere in public, I could just shoot you a text right then and there. I don't have to step out or get a good, you know what I mean? It's actually easier. And it's documented. So we have everything, that we spoke about. So in case there's an issue or that we forgot something, we can always look at the tape, so to speak, and see what
Check the videotape.
Videotape, exactly.
All right. One other thing, I got to go back for a second. All right, because it's 2024, a lot of people are doing this now. When it comes to documents like contracts and stuff like that, are you mailing them out? Are you UPSing them out? Or are you doing digital, getting e-signs? What's your preference?
My whole practice basically is cloud-based. I try to keep I hate clutter. I'm a big minimalist, a neat freak, whatever you want to call it. And especially when it comes to being an attorney, you have to be organized. You have to have your documents in order. So doing it electronically is actually easier for me because I can visually see everything on the screen. There's a lot of attorneys, they like a wet signature on a contract. Honestly, in my contracts, I put that a PDF or electronic signature is, just as good as an original. Mm-hmm. So I usually do DocuSign if the other attorney will allow it. If not, we do FedEx back and forth, and then I'll scan it into my system and hold on to it.
That's very crucial for people to know, because basically when you have contracts out, things are moving like that. Yeah. And it's very important to get that contract to the next person ASAP. So it's the contract, the down payment money, or whatever, the escrow money basically has to get sent over ASAP. So your attorney can hinder if they're not using technology. I said what I said.
We've been known to do that a few times in some deals. I'm not going to lie, but not me.
It does happen.
It does happen.
Which is why you should vet everyone you're working with, from real estate attorney, an agent, loan officer, insurance, whoever you decide to hire. You should always vet them. Get recommendations. If you don't have access to recommendations, you talk to one of the professionals that you are working with, that you are comfortable with, and they'll give you a recommendation of who their clients have been using and who they're comfortable with. Anthony, I don't want to take up too much of your time. You gave me a lot of information here for the audience. One more time, how can people reach you if they have any questions?
Call my cell or text me, 631-943-8351. Call my office, 516-809-8483. And that office line, you could actually text that office line too, and it'll come to my cell. So you can text me on both lines. Shoot me an email, acurcio@curciolawpllc.com, and check me out on Instagram and LinkedIn. We're gonna be doing some stuff and doing some posting. It's gonna be good.
Well, this video will probably be on there as well.
This will definitely be on there for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So I want to thank Anthony for being our guest on this. And I'm Evantz Saint-Gerard, your local real estate agent here in Queens, but I also work in Long Island, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. If you have any questions about real estate, feel free to give me a call. My number is 917-975-5985. You can reach us on our website also, which is mynyhomesales.com. And that's pretty much it. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on social media. Just look up Evantz Saint-Gerard. I'll spell it out for you guys. EVANTZ-SAINT-GERARD. You look that name up and you'll find me on every social media platform. With that being said, I hope you got some value out of this. If you have any questions or scenarios, feel free to reach out to us. That we're here to help. That's what we do. And there is no stupid question. Only stupid question is if you don't ask it. So ask us the questions so we can help you. Hope you have a great night and the rest of the year, and make sure you keep those resolutions. If it's home ownership is your resolution, or getting a smaller or bigger home, or moving, relocating is your resolution, let us help you make that resolution happen. With that being said, I'm saying peace out. See you guys later.
Thanks for having me.